What's up, y'all? It's Sean, owner and lead tutor of Math Swap Tutoring. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about what I would do if I could approach this engineering stuff again. I realized that there was something probably pretty important that I left off in my last video. One really important thing that I would do again with my engineering career is I would not allow myself to get pigeonholed. So I sort of alluded to this in the last video, but I didn't go into depth enough. What I mean is the industry that I went into, we actually worked a lot with relatively old technology. So we used old computer languages that were like really, in some cases, very much specialized only to the systems that we worked on. And we did use, I think it was C sharp or C, I can't remember. I think it was ANSI C. We did use that to kind of write some of our test programs. But what I found in this Amazon, Google, Facebook, Uber, and so on and so forth, very highly software oriented world is that what I found is that a lot of things are moving really, really, really fast. And so working for the industry I worked with, we didn't use a lot of this new technology. You didn't do a lot with even stuff like HTML and, a lot of these interfaces that are kind of used to make things more graphical and whatnot. We didn't use a lot of that. And because of that, so you have to understand, I first went into the engineering world back in 2007. So that was when social media was still very new. That's when stuff like smartphones and all that were just really kind of becoming a thing. So if those are just becoming a thing, that means that apps and all that kind of stuff as well were like kind of unheard of or not really a thing. I can't remember the exact years, y'all. It's been a long time. So, to spend a career, in that point in time when everything was very, very, very new, it probably would have been a good idea for me to kind of like keep an eye on the industry and to even also, if I wanted to stay up to date with the newest technology, either do my own self-study or to go ahead and pivot into a new career. Again, I told you guys in the last video that my whole reason for going into engineering was because I was very interested in the areas of like audio and speakers and stereo systems and whatnot, and I didn't pursue that stuff like I should have. And I do still plan on doing something with my career that's going to kind of put me in that area, but I'm still kind of figuring that part out. But anyway, the main point is on the software side, because everything is so software based now. You kind of want to have some sort of way to kind of keep yourself mindful of the latest technologies and whatnot. Because if you look at a job application these days, it's a lot of small software companies, a lot of course, those large, very prominent name companies. They look for a lot of different type of softwares and experience with these different programs and systems that if you are in an industry as an engineer that is kind of like an old industry, you will not really see those. And you have to have some sort of way, whether it be through your own self-study, your own self-interest. Maybe you work on stuff at home. I wasn't that type of person, just being honest, but I knew people like that. Or you have some sort of way to pivot into a career that would keep you abreast of the latest and greatest technology. So again, that's really what I wanted to say a little bit more in depth that I realized I didn't. And it's something for you to keep in mind as you prepare to be an engineer. Keep what you desired before you became an engineer. Keep that in the forefront of your mind. And like also understand, because of the pace of technology these days, if you want to kind of like be on the cutting edge, you have to have something that's going to keep you on the cutting edge, especially if you are working for a particular organization, whether it be like the government or some of these old legacy companies that have been around for a long time. If you're going to be with some of them, then you need to like stay ahead, perhaps on your own. And let me add this too. Just because you get like a master's degree, which I did, remember, like when you go to school, a lot of what you learn in school They'll probably touch on some of the later technologies and whatnot, depending on what you're going back to get your master's in. I got mine in double E, electrical engineering. But at the same time, school is a lot based on theory too. So you're going to learn a whole lot of theory, a whole lot of math and science and stuff like that. So you may not necessarily get that latest and greatest knowledge without having to go dig a bit deeper. Just my personal experience. All right. Hopefully that helps you guys.